Welcome to our investigative video on the life and death of Dennis Edwards, a legendary singer who rose to fame as the lead vocalist of The Temptations. Edwards' voice, charisma, and stage presence earned him a special place in the hearts of fans around the world. However, despite his remarkable success, Edwards' life was marked by a series of personal struggles, including addiction and legal battles, which ultimately led to his tragic death. In this video, we will examine the circumstances that led to Edwards' rise and fall, shedding light on the events that ultimately led to his untimely death. The rise of Dennis Edwards. Dennis Edwards was born in Birmingham, Alabama, in 1943, and grew up in a family of musicians. His father was a minister and his mother was a singer, and together they encouraged Dennis to pursue his love of music from a young age. He began singing in church choirs and local groups, and by his teenage years, he was performing in clubs and other venues around the Birmingham area. In 1961, he joined a local group called the Contours, who were signed to the Motown label in Detroit. Edwards quickly made a name for himself as a talented and dynamic performer, and he became one of the group's lead singers. Despite his success with the Contours, Edwards was eager to join the Temptations, who were already established as one of the biggest acts in soul music. In 1968, he got his chance when the group's previous lead singer, David Ruffin, was fired from the group. Edwards auditioned for the role and was hired, joining the Temptations just as they were entering a new phase of their career. With Edwards on board, the group began to experiment with new styles and sounds, incorporating elements of funk, rock, and other genres into their music. One of Edwards' signature songs with the Temptations was "Papa Was a Rollin' Stone," a haunting and evocative track that showcased his powerful voice and emotional range. Released in 1972, the song became a massive hit, topping the charts and winning several awards. It remains one of the most iconic and enduring songs in the Motown catalog, and Edwards' performance on the track is widely regarded as one of the finest of his career. The Temptations had already established themselves as one of the premier vocal groups in the world, with a string of hits that included "My Girl," "Cloud 9," "Ain't Too Proud to Beg," and "I Can't Get Next to You." Edwards was a perfect fit for the group, with his soulful voice and energetic stage presence. In 1977, Edwards was fired from the Temptations after a series of disagreements with the group's management. He continued to perform as a solo artist, but his career never regained the same level of success that he had enjoyed with the Temptations. In the 1990s, Edwards reunited with the Temptations for a series of tours and recordings. He was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as a member of the group in 1989, and he continued to perform and record music throughout the rest of his career. Struggles with addiction. However, despite his remarkable success, Edwards' personal life was marked by a series of struggles, particularly with addiction. In the 1970s, Edwards began to experiment with drugs, and his addiction soon spiraled out of control. He was fired from the Temptations in 1977 due to his drug use. In the years that followed, Edwards battled addiction, entering and leaving rehab several times. His struggles with substance abuse took a toll on his health and his relationships with family and friends. After leaving the Temptations, Edwards continued to struggle with addiction. He was arrested several times for drug-related offenses and spent time in jail. He also suffered physical abuse at the hands of his second wife, Brenda, who he married in 1979. In 1984, Edwards attempted to revive his music career by releasing a solo album, "Don't Look Any Further." The album included the title track, which became a hit and reached number 2 on the R&B charts. The album also included a duet with Sita Garrett, "Don't You Miss Me a Little Bit Baby," which was a top 40 hit. Despite his success as a solo artist, Edwards continued to struggle with addiction and legal troubles. In 1992, he was sentenced to probation for assaulting his wife, Brenda. He was also ordered to attend drug counseling and perform community service. In a 1992 interview with Ebony magazine, Edwards described the abuse he suffered at the hands of his wife. He said that she once stabbed him with a fork and hit him with a wooden stick. He also said that she burned him with cigarettes and once hit him over the head with a liquor bottle. Legal battles. In addition to his struggles with addiction, Edwards' life was marked by a series of legal battles. In 1977, he was arrested and charged with assaulting his wife. In 1984, he was sued by his former manager, who claimed that Edwards had breached their contract. In 1991, he was arrested for cocaine possession. Despite these legal troubles, Edwards continued to perform and record music, releasing several solo albums throughout the 1980s and 1990s. The tragic end. Unfortunately, on February 1, 2018, Dennis Edwards died in a Chicago hospital at the age of 74. His death was attributed to complications from meningitis, which he had been diagnosed with several months earlier. However, there were also reports that he had been abused by his wife in the months leading up to his death. In an interview with the St. Louis Post-Dispatch, Edwards' daughter, Issa Pointer, alleged that her father had been abused by his wife and that she had prevented family members from seeing him in the weeks before his death. In conclusion, Dennis Edwards was a remarkable talent who achieved incredible success during his career. However, his personal struggles with addiction and legal troubles took a toll on his health and his relationships, ultimately leading to his untimely death. While Edwards' legacy as a musician will continue to live on, his life is a cautionary tale about the dangers of addiction and the importance of seeking help and support when struggling with substance abuse. We hope that this video has shed some light on the rise and fall of Dennis Edwards and has inspired you to learn more about his remarkable life and career. Thank you for watching.